Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. We're in Dallas ahead of Hooker versus Ramirez. You know what, Frank?
It's first time.
My first interview with you.
I was going to say that.
There you go then, eh? Let's make it a good one
It's
then.
exciting.
Let's make it a good one.
Exactly. I prefer you to him more anyway.
Nah, no. He's got the bragging rights because he's got that 1 million views from Eddie. I was hoping the man interview with Eddie yesterday would have broke that, but it's not catching.
What is that? The highest viewed video with Eddie?
With Eddie, yeah. He got it.
What's the highest viewed video on IFL TV?
It's Dave Allen weighing when he stuffed his...
How many views?
15 million.
Why?
It's because it's hung like a rhino, that was the title, so I wonder if that's sort of like...
Rhinos are probably a popular search term.
Hung like, maybe.
So nothing to actually do with the clip?
No, nothing to do with Dave Allen. Nothing to do with
nothing against Dave Allen, but what second?
Second is another weigh-in. When the towel slipped in, that's 10 million.
That's quite worrying, really, isn't it?
So I was kind of like hoping if you could do this naked.
No.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
We'll do it.
I'm going to go to the gym in the morning. I'll do it naked
You're going to
tomorrow.
lose 20 pounds tomorrow.
Yeah, afterwards.
Well, before I've done that, I'm going to carry on the tradition that Umar does. The tradition, I can get that out with Umar, that the Twitter Q&A and all that sort of stuff. So I've got a few questions here. Before I do that, I want to talk about obviously boxing, what's happened recently in the last few days. Obviously, the WHYTE situation. I don't know how much you can tell me. I know there's sort of like all the legal procedures going on. Eddie's said his piece and what he can say, but I don't know what if you could add to it or not. But
no, look, I think as a lot of people, Eddie's gone very in depth with it, well, as much as he possibly can. And you know, I think from our perspective, we followed all the protocols as a promoter of the event. And you know, as he said, we can't really say too much about it. It's a situation that Dillian Whyte is dealing with. You know, he put out something on his Twitter earlier. He's dealing with his legal teams. But from our perspective, we worked across all the protocols and did everything we needed to do as the event promoter. Both guys were licensed to box, and you know, I can't really say too much more than that. You know, Eddie's gone very in depth.
Eddie's a talker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite reserved, and I stick to what I know what I know we can say, and I think he's told everyone as much as he can say. You know, I'm fair play, you know.
He's probably said too much to me yesterday because I think he said that he said too much, but hey ho, it is what it is. But one thing I do want to stay in the WHYTE situation, but not obviously that was a sort of backstory to it is the glove situation. There was something to do where Whyte had signed off a couple of gloves during the fighters meeting. However,
he wasn't actually there at the fighters meeting himself. When he got there was a problem with his gloves, and he then in turn, with the British Boxing Board of Control and the WBC, they were aware and all approved by them, changed the gloves he was wearing because there was a problem with the pairs he was supposed to wear, and they were all approved gloves, all the gloves approved by the British Boxing Board of Control, which is the key part of it, and we also offered Rivas the chance to wear the same gloves, so wear the gloves.
That wasn't in the statement from his promoter.
Yeah, we said if you want to wear these gloves, you can.
Right.
You know, look, it wasn't ideal, but it happened, and it was all above board. You know, the British Boxing Board of Control were aware. They're the people who, and the WBC as well, would say if there was a problem with the gloves, they're the people who approve the gloves.
They signed them off.
Yeah, they sign them off, and they try them on. They say, yeah, these are good to go. So, as far as that's concerned, you know, I think one of the things is boxers should probably all go to the rules meeting and do the gloves. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen.
Just the trainers, isn't it?
No. Boxers can go sometimes, though they don't always go. But from that perspective, you know, everything was above board. WBC, British Boxing Board of Control, and we had the conversations, Russ Amber, Yvonne Michelle, etc., on the night, and yeah, all was cleared. So. Well,
I don't want to stay on WHYTE too much because obviously I'll let things unfold as in the coming weeks and how long it's going to take. But again, before we go into the Q&A, I want to talk a little bit things that have happened. You've just announced Lomachenko versus Campbell at the O2. I mean, what a fight that is. What's your thoughts on the fight?
Amazing fight, and it's great to have Lomachenko come over to the UK. We've been lucky to bring some great stars over. You know, we've had Usyk, we've had Golovkin, we've had Errol Spence, some others as well. Inoue came over for the World Boxing Super Series, and Lomachenko's another name to add to that list. But I think Luke Campbell, honestly, will give him a real tough test. He's got the style that it takes, and he can win that fight. You know, it's a huge fight night. We've already sold over 15,000 tickets at the O2. So, you know, the fans are coming out in droves. It's going to be a great undercard, which we'll announce more of next week.
Yeah, I was going to say that because Eddie said he's going to announce it this week, and it's now Friday, so I'm going to try and get a wee exclusive from Frank.
I think exclusive. Maybe over the weekend or early into next week we'll announce. You know, we've got a lot of it all lined up now. We've just had we announced Huey Fury today, so just planning out the announcements as we go. So it's going to be a great card, and it's, as I say, very exciting to have Lomachenko come across, but Luke Campbell, 2 Olympic gold medalists there, and I think it's going to be a great fight.
In London as well, they won their gold medals in the back in London facing each other, so there's a wee backstory to that as well. You said Luke Campbell can win the fight. What makes you say that? Is it just because of maybe his height range and
I think you look at the size, but also the style. You know, he was Britain's most decorated ever amateur boxer. You know, not every decision has gone exactly the right way for him in his career. You know, unfortunately he's had some losses. He lost against Mendy, but he came back and avenged that. Ramirez, obviously around that fight, it was a very tough time for him as well. You know, he unfortunately lost his father at that point of his life. Not making excuses, like he would never make excuses, but I think this is a great time for Luke Campbell. He's got, you know, Shane McGuigan now in his corner, who's done a great job with him, and I just think I think because of some of the losses he's had, people overlook him. Yeah. But you can't forget about what he did, especially as an amateur. You know, as Britain's most decorated amateur boxer.
You mentioned Huey Fury. I might as well just jump straight into that story. I mean, another heavyweight to the stable. I mean, it's good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a great time for heavyweight boxing. It's a great time for boxing, but you know, heavyweights right now. It's we've signed a load recently. You know, you've got all the way Filip Hrgović, Michael Hunter, Murat Gassiev.
Usyk still make his debut.
Usyk, you got Usyk, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua. You know, so many heavyweight boxers, and I probably missed one or two in there.
Wilder.
No, we haven't signed him.
All right.
But it's a great time to be a heavyweight fighter, and it's great for us to have that, you know, stable of heavyweights who can all fight each other and build up into big fights.
People forget that Hugh's still only 24 years old, and
I didn't realise. I completely forgot that. You know, I think he was 22 or 23 when he fought Joseph Parker. You know, Joseph Parker, another one. You know, he had his comeback fight. Derek Chisora as well. So it's a great time for these guys, and I think, as you say, Huey Fury with his age, he's still got so much more to give, especially in the heavyweight.
I've just got to say, you've signed Bacoli as well.
Yeah,
another big heavyweight he's fighting next weekend at the Next Gen show. So
there's a huge stable of heavyweights, and it's great because they all want to fight each other.
It's good for fans as well, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we're in Dallas.
Yep.
Let's talk about that card this weekend. I mean, Maurice Hooker versus Ramirez. Everyone I've spoke to said this is going to be a cracking fight, just because the styles that they have. Yeah. I take it you echo that.
Yeah, brilliant fight. It's great to be involved in a great unification fight like this. Good to be working with Top Rank as well, to bring Ramirez over and onto the zone. But Maurice Hooker, you know, you look at his. I think they put out a stat about his last 5 fights. Something like 124 wins. 0 losses.
I've seen that. That was much.
We did. Which, you know, unbelievable. He's travelled as well. You know, he went and fought Flanagan in Manchester. Then he fought Saucedo. When Top Rank won the purse bid, he fought Saucedo. Travelled there, beat him. I just think he's given everything, and I think he's underrated in terms of his skill and his ability. And when he gets the win on Saturday night, I think he's in the best shape he's ever been. You know, he looks unbelievable, made the weight very well, and that's great. So I think
easy. He was in his socks.
So. I think obviously he learnt a lot of the last fight, the Lesbier fight. Didn't go ideal in the build-up for that, and you know, everyone was quite well aware of the weight issues he had. But now I think he's really focused, settled down with it, and I think you're going to see the best Maurice Hooker in there. But Jose Ramirez is a great fighter. He's going to give everything. But then there's big fights down the line from the winner of the Prograis Josh Taylor fight as well, which is another great fight. It's going to be very entertaining. So that's a huge fight in 2020 probably.
That's the thing, is like the 140-pound division is, you've got 2 belts on the line on Saturday, and then you've got another 2 belts on the line looking maybe October time.
Yep.
So is the more organic fight, more natural fight for the winner of the, well, you would say Hooker on Saturday to face the winner of Taylor versus Prograis? Is that the more organic fight to make?
Yeah, I think so. I think the only thing to bear in mind is that, we're in July now, so if that fight's in October, whoever wins on Saturday night is going to have another fight, I'd guess, before that, and that's probably a fight for in 2020, as I say. Yeah. But I think that's definitely a fight that can be made.
Can I get your thoughts on Prograis Taylor? I mean, you were out in Glasgow for Taylor's win.
Josh Taylor's a brilliant fighter. He is amazing, but it's a tough fight. Prograis is also very good. It's going to be very entertaining.
Got a chuck in Tevin Farmer as well, probably the most active world champion going, isn't he? So
I think what was he had 4 or 5 now? Four fights
within under a calendar year.
Yeah. It's brilliant. That's what's been great about the DAZN platform, working with these fighters. Talking about Demetrius Andrade as well, had 3 fights in 10 months, October, January, and June. So a lot of these fighters have been great for them, because in American boxing historically, fighters haven't been given the opportunities and been sort of put out enough out there. So that's been great as well. And Tevin Farmer's a great character. He's calling out for some big fights after this.
It's got to be under unification, surely. He's done his mandatories now, so hopefully unification in the future.
Yeah, there's that opportunity of Jojo Diaz as well.
I was going to say, he basically called him out at the press conference.
And I saw it. He replied on DAZN's Instagram saying he'd be up for it. So, it's exciting times as well for, I think, all these fighters. We saw Devin Haney there today.
I've just seen him just downstairs. Downstairs talking
another one, superstar, and he's going to be kept very active. So,
and he's in the lightweight division, so it could be, depending if Luke Campbell wins or not, there's a fight there for.
But he's only 21 years old as well, so it's like there is no rush.
Talking about age, I've got to say happy birthday to you, because what are you, 37?
27. I look
37.
27 on 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Well, happy birthday, Frank.
Like when everyone says how I love my life, and I spent my birthday on a plane.
And you lost your suitcase.
Eating cake, and they lost my suitcase on my birthday.
There you go.
Which there's worse things going on, but no, it was a nice day.
You had to wear these clothes for.
This was a bit oversized. I had to borrow them for a couple of days. I actually had Eddie sitting next to me with his feet out.
What, socks off?
Yeah. It was. You shouldn't do that on a plane.
Not on a plane.
Not on a plane. It shouldn't be legal.
I need to clip that and put that on my Instagram.
It shouldn't be legal.
No. I'm going to have a word with them as well. That's terrible. Well, everything's spoken about. Should we just crack on with this Twitter Q&A? I mean, some of them
are serious. Some of them are serious.
Quite serious,
some of them
which is good. It's more boxing.
Really?
Well, yeah. There's a couple of crazy ones in there, but there is a couple of good boxing ones. So I'll get that up. I'll find it. There we go. Here's one from Boxing Tickets NI. Why is Belfast neglected for fight bills with Matchroom? No appearance since October 2017. Is there anything in the pipeline for Belfast?
I think it obviously depends on the talent you've got and who's signed to you. So if we haven't got fighters who we can headline shows with, then it's very difficult for us to go. We love Belfast and we love doing shows in Belfast, but right now we haven't got those fighters in order to put on shows there. We obviously work with Ryan Burnett. He was in the WSS, and now working with MTK. They did a show with him a few months ago, wasn't it? Back in May, yeah. Look, we love Belfast, but you have to have the fighters to go to these places. So, if we sign someone who works there, then we'll put them on there.
There you go. That's a simple answer, isn't it? There's the answer right there. Oh, that's a crazy one.
What is it?
Can Frank explain the announced purses in America? I.e. Pacquiao got 10 million, but will be much more. Where does that much money come from?
I suppose it depends who says they got much more. It's all sources, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone knows everything, don't they? So.
Here's another one from Josh McCarthy. Was Frank a big watcher of boxing before working with Matchroom?
Completely honest, not particularly. What was I? I was 15. When I was 16, when I started working with Matchroom. Didn't really watch much, to be honest. Just played football a lot.
You still don't have enough time to watch it. I've seen you in venues.
I don't watch. You know what?
You're in and out.
I don't really watch the boxing, like you say. My focus isn't necessarily directly the boxing because I am running around, lots going on. So when people always say, "What do you think of this fight?" It's like, I don't know. I didn't see it. You know, it's not because I don't want to watch it. It's just because my job doesn't really concern me always watching the boxing directly.
Yeah. Well, I've seen, like I said, I've seen you at events and venues, and I've seen you back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I can vouch for it. Like, if somebody says when you watched a fight, just say Andy knows why.
At least you're my witness.
Yeah, I'm a witness to that. Seb Powson says, would he rather fight one Anthony Joshua-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Anthony Joshuas?
One Anthony Joshua-sized duck
or 100 duck-sized Anthony Joshua?
Neither.
None.
They both. They both probably kill me. Also, how do ducks fight? They haven't got hands, have they?
Beak and wings. Feet. Crazy question. I'm just trying to flick through them. Rank these interviewers from. Oh my gosh, it's got me in it. No.
Go on.
You got to be honest, right? Don't just because I'm sitting here. And this is our first interview, so rank these interviewers from best to worst. Coogan, Rob Tibbett, Umar, Andrew, me, Michelle Joy Phelps, Radio Raheem. Worst to the best.
You're all brilliant. You're all brilliant. I'm not going to actually. I think they're all great for the sport. They all had something different, including you, Andy. Yeah. I don't think you can really rate them all. Everyone's got their different strengths. You know what Coogan, Umar, you have done for the sport, and you know Coogan from years ago is dedication. You know, given literally his life to build IFL TV to where it is, IFL London originally.
Back in the day,
and also great for the fans as well. You know, the access you guys get is brilliant, but it's because of the relationships you have with people. And people trust you, people want to speak to you, which is great. The other guys you mentioned, like Radio Raheem, Michelle Joy Phelps, Rob Tebbett is like literally will not let you leave until you answer the question, which is great. And Michelle and Radio Raheem, great job as well. So you can't really rate
very
them.
Diplomatic.
I am diplomatic.
You could have just said me because I'm sitting here.
They'll say after this bottle job.
They always do.
Thanks, man.
Chances of Tommy Cobb versus Ryan Garcia?
That's a great fight. I don't know whether it'll happen, but
is he retired, Tommy, or is he?
No, I don't know what. I think Tommy's having a bit of a rest after his last fight in the US. You know what a performance he put in against Chris Algieri. Unfortunately, didn't go his way. But I think
showed his braveness, how brave he is.
Yeah, he is, but he's always had that, hasn't he? And maybe that won't be the right fight for Ryan Garcia right now because Tommy Coyle will literally go in there and give it everything and will not back down. But I don't know. That's one for Golden Boy to look at.
Is that? This isn't anyone said, but is there any legs in that Matchroom versus Golden Boy?
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of class?
I think because we're on the same platform with the Zone, that's definitely something we can make work. But it has to make work for the fight. It has to work for the fighters as well. Right time for them, and be the right fights.
Because you've got fighters in the same classes, haven't you? So it's,
you know what the super fight is in a year or so, or whenever it comes. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, that is a super fight.
That's a huge fight.
Would that have to be a world title on the line for that, or?
Do you know what? Although I don't always think fights need world titles. Some fights just make sense. But it would be great. All fights would be great if you could add a world title on there. But that is a super fight.
They're both young as well, so it could be trilogies and that as well. So, here's one. I think I know this one anyway. It's, when is Ricky Burns fighting next? Not heard any news for a while.
We're actually working on that, and that will be something hopefully in the next few days. So there you go.
I had the date September 7th, and I think I threw that at Eddie, and he didn't deny it. So
well, Eddie doesn't do it. He's good. If you ever want to get anything out, just ask Eddie.
Yeah, that's why I go straight to.
Yeah, that's why you go to him.
I'll just do a couple more. If you could cite any current fighter not with Matchroom, who would it be and why?
God, who would it be and why?
Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders, Wilder, anyone from Golden Boy, Pacquiao.
I do think, you know what, Deontay Wilder would be fun to add to the heavyweight mix. Tyson Fury's obviously just signed his deal to, but there are a number of fighters that we would love to still work with, but we've got a great stable. There's a lot we could name.
Just give me one. I won't press you. That one last one because it is.
Eddie Hearn.
He's already.
I saw what he did to me.
I know there was a question in here that I can't find it now. But he says, when are you rematching Eddie Hearn?
Never. Do you know what? That I know I'll get abused for that, but it killed. I was in so much pain. It actually caused me massive problems. For about, I couldn't do any exercise. It was a saving grace really. I couldn't do any exercise for about a month and a half.
So you're just going to take a left shot,
Every morning I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, like that. My missus was like, it was such a crybaby. Like, just get over it.
Did you ever consider?
No. Oh no, I had a charity one.
And how'd that go?
I lost 2 stone, and that's the reason I wanted to put my mind to something, and I won in like 59 seconds, I think it was.
15 seconds knockout.
Yeah.
Fair play to you, Frank.
I almost got knocked out myself, but
he was just swinging big heat.
he was. He was. He actually. It was. The guy came up to me before and he said, "Just for charity, let's just go easy." I was like, "Yeah, perfect." Like raise some money for charity. I got fit. That was the aim for me. So I was like, "Yeah, perfect." I got in there. Literally, he threw about 150 punches, or what felt like 150 punches, within a space of the minute. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. And then I think he basically tired himself out, so it was no credit to me. It was just.
You were doing Muhammad Ali.
I'd love exactly that.
And then you knocked him out.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Well,
see, that's good because you were tired undefeated.
Yeah, exactly.
So
never again.
Well, you got beat. Well, in fact, you didn't because you got beat by Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, but that wasn't official.
All right.
My nose is. Do you know what? My nose has never been the same. I think I broke my nose when I did it, and now I've always had a problem breathing. So.
Well, there you go. Now you've got that respect. Now you know the respect for the fighters and what
I
they go
actually say
through.
that to them. I go like, I've done it as well, and they're like,
I've been there.
They're like, fuck off.
Right, one last one. Obviously, because obviously I'm a jock. I'll go ask this. Would you ever consider signing Josh Taylor if it became available?
I think Josh Taylor's, a great fighter, and I think, as we spoke about earlier, he's got the pro grade fight in the final of the World Boxing Super Series, and yeah, look, I think he is a very entertaining fighter who lots of people would be after.
Going to get a Frank exclusive. Any news on Joshua Ruiz 2 yet?
Not yet. We're still working on it. We're still very soon. No, that's probably been said a few times.
Yeah.
But very soon we'll have news on Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua.
However you look at it.
However you want to say it. It's a huge fight.
Yeah.
It's the biggest fight I think in boxing in the world.
Both fighters want it as well. Which is
yeah.
good
So
to see.
yeah, Andy Ruiz come out and said he'll go. I know there's been a lot of comments, but.
Because he did say after the white thing that he said.
He actually came out and said, obviously I'm going to take the fight wherever it is, so that's great, and it's going to be a massive fight.
Good stuff. Well, Frank, first interview, I had fun.
First of many.
Should we hit the gym?
You can. I've actually just ordered a chicken sandwich and chips.
I'm coming with you then. I'm coming with you, Frank. Right, thanks for this, Frank TV. Thanks, buddy.